A variable wonderland in a seemingly inhospitable environment that skyrocketed in popularity from the various activities available for all to enjoy.
Now, very few dare to enter the toxic wasteland that is known as the Salton Sea.
The Salton Sea, situated west of the Rocky Mountains, is the largest lake in California. The result of an engineering accident, the sea has become an important part of both local and global ecosystems, providing a resting stop for migratory birds and habitat to marine life. However, due to increasing amounts of dissolved salts in the sea that have been measured at 1.7 times higher than that of the Pacific Ocean, fish populations in the sea have experienced die-offs, and as the sea continues to become saltier, others are in danger of disappearing soon, threatening many of the birds that use them as a food source and that visit the Salton Sea, some of which are listed as endangered.
One of the two endangered species in this area is the desert pupfish. The pupfish is able to survive in high salinities. However, as the sea grows saltier, their populations begin to decline. Since there are invasive species that inhabit the area, the competition for resources increases. For the desert pupfish to survive, there have been restoration plans by the Imperial Irrigation District, creating marshes with moderate salinity around the Salton Sea area. The Yuma clapper rail is the other endangered species within the area, along with many other bird species that are threatened or of concern. The Salton Sea is a popular destination for more than 375 migratory bird species that take the Pacific Flyway each year. While the sea shrinks and the fish species decline, the birds have very little food resources to survive. The Sonny Bono Salton Sea National Wildlife Refuge was established in 1930 to protect and manage the habitats that support these birds and other wildlife at the Salton Sea. The Endangered Species Act, implemented in 1973, also protects all species and their habitats. This act has helped protect many species, including the 3 endangered species from the Salton Sea that were removed from the list since 1996. Creating and implementing an effective policy within the Salton Sea has been an arduous task. Numerous years of repeated reviews and experiments have yielded little action in the implementation of policies aimed at curbing the Salton Sea's problems. Despite this, there may be improvements on the horizon. The Salton Sea Management Program aims to create 18,000 to 25,000 acres of habitat for the sea's vulnerable wildlife, supporting growth and biodiversity, as well as the vital Pacific Flyway, used by millions of birds. Water backbone infrastructure will be used to transport water from rivers and from the Salton Sea to air quality and habitat conservation projects. The Red Hill Bay project aims to create 420 acres of wetland on the southeastern shore of the sea, providing habitat for migratory birds as well as cover on exposed dusty playa. In further support of Salton Sea conservation, Proposition 68 will allocate $200 million towards protection and mitigation within the Salton Sea region, potentially providing real progress in the creation of habitat and protection of wildlife.
The water in the Salton Sea will slowly become saltier and saltier as the sea dries up, and as the salt increases in the water, fewer species of fish will be able to survive and reproduce. The birds that live in and feed in the sea will shift from birds that feed on fish to birds that feed on invertebrates. While many species will leave, others, like the eared grebe, who thrive in more saline environments, will increase in number. Millions of fish will die off as the sea heads towards drying up completely, and the once burgeoning ecosystem will become useless to birds. The playa left exposed by the receding sea contains toxic chemicals, hydrogen sulfide, ammonia, and selenium, that can be kicked up into dust clouds and blown 100 miles away. And not only does this negatively impact wildlife, but it could damage millions of dollars worth of crops and cause respiratory problems for anyone who breathes it in, seriously affecting those with respiratory conditions like asthma. The future of the Salton Sea and its inhabitants is murky at best. Though many plans have been proposed to either save the sea as a whole or to replace it with smaller ponds, these plans cost millions to billions of dollars, and lack of funding has left the sea's fate hanging in the balance. and with it, the fate of the creatures that call the Salton Sea home. From the endangered desert pupfish to the American white pelican to the eared grebe. If a sea dries up in the middle of the desert, they'll notice. Will you?